Can it ever be a good idea for victims and offenders to meet?
I wanted to see him because I needed to tell him how I felt.
Restorative justice, a process that brings victims and offenders together.
You said that he was going to shoot me.
I am genuinely sorry for what I did to you, and I shouldn't have done it.
Victims can tell it how it is.
As long as he heard what I was going to say, that was all I needed. I needed him to know what he'd done to me.
It's being used for a range of offences from antisocial behaviour through to the most serious of crimes.
I walked towards him, shook his hand. That same hand that killed Malcolm.
Now, the government has announced £29 million has been made available for restorative justice.
As long as I've got a breath in my body, I will always promote restorative justice.
I'm Brooke Kinsella, and my 16-year-old brother was killed by knife crime 6 years ago.
He was almost like my big brother sometimes because he would be quite protective. Yeah, he was my best friend.
I want to explore the impact of this form of face-to-face justice.
I thought, half an hour in, this isn't working. And they walked out talking to each other. It was like a Disney film.
And I'm going on a journey to find out whether meeting my brother's killers could ever be right for me. My first step is to go and see a woman whose son was recently killed in a tragic accident. Amazingly, she decided to meet the person in prison responsible for her son's death. On the night of August the 30th, 2012, 19-year-old friends Mark Lutman and Ian Deere had been out partying and drinking. Despite being twice over the limit, Mark got behind the wheel of his dad's car. Shortly after, he crashed. Ian died at the scene. Mark survived with minor injuries. I just know personally, you need somebody to blame sometimes, so to kind of come face to face and hear some answers that you don't really want to hear and find yourself possibly forgiving the person who took away your loved one, I don't know how that would affect somebody. This is the Crow Hill Estate in Greater Manchester. On a snowy evening in February, a group of teenagers target an elderly couple's home with snowballs. At one point, one of the residents comes out. But the boys carry on pelting the house for almost 10 minutes. The family, that suffered from antisocial behaviour, puts their CCTV footage of the incident on YouTube. It prompts immediate action. PC Mark Casey of Greater Manchester Police meets a local housing officer, Phil Bojanowski.
This is the list of the perpetrators. I'm after a address for him.
They want to use restorative justice, or RJ, as an alternative to prosecuting the boys responsible. But first they need to track them down.
That's him, Daniel.
All the boys have been identified and the first one has been called in. Restorative justice is going ahead with the consent of the elderly victims, even though they don't want to attend. The police will represent their point of view, and I've come to see what happens.